Our country's fucked. Right in the ass. We got school shootings going on. We got people protesting the shootings but getting ignored because they're not as old as the people who are in charge. I just don't want to have to worry about fucking the weird kid coming to school tomorrow and fucking shooting that bitch up, alright? I'm too young for that shit. I need to stop smacking this desk. I'm too young for that shit, man. I'm fucking 6, maybe? This is obviously a problem. Everyone knows this. But no one can really agree what to blame it on. On one hand, we have the people who think it's the guns. It's all the guns. We get rid of guns, no more school shootings. Even though it's a pretty cheap way out of the situation, and it's not really going to solve all the murders that are happening. And then on the other hand, the one that makes a little bit more sense to me is it's the kids' mental health. If they didn't have something going on with them, they wouldn't be shooting kids up. That's just my personal opinion. Either one makes kind of sense. Unfortunately, not everyone isn't retarded. There are a lot of things contributing to school shootings, mainly mental health. And there's obviously also how easy it is for you to get guns, especially with that newly unsigned, I don't know what it's called, but something just got unsigned where now it's easier for people with mental health issues to get guns. I hate to make a Trump joke here, but there are plenty of other things that you can easily blame school shootings on. And that's today's topic. That's right, kids. Today we're talking about mass homicides. Yeah! This is gonna be a fun adventure down the rabbit hole of internet journalism. So take my hand, or I don't know, something. I don't know where I was going with that. Fuck. The main thing people like to blame for school shootings is video games, specifically the violent ones. There's even been this video game that literally simulates school shootings. It's called Active Shooter. It was on Steam. It was going to be released, but then people saw it and the journalists were like, yo fam, that's a little too edgy of a meme for me. No thank you. And Steam had to remove it. And coincidentally, a little bit later, Steam decided, hey, you know what, we're just going to let whatever slide from now on. We don't want to really spend that much time giving a shit, honestly. But of course, that was after this got removed. But this game is still going to be sold, still in the works, just not on Steam anymore. So it looks like we're back to blaming video games for violence. This has been debunked so many fucking times. How do people not realize that people are full of bullshit at this point? I'm just at a loss for words. So I'm just gonna watch a video from an Australian news outlet that I found on Twitter. I couldn't find the entire video, so they might have said more because the website's blocked in the US. So fuck you, Australia.
So what's the aim of the game?
To kill all the other players in the game.
Correct. So how does that compare, Sandy, to a game of footy with your mates?
Look, there's unequivocal research about the impact of these sorts of games. There's over 130 evidence-based pieces of research that tell us that violent games like this increase aggressiveness, increase angry thoughts, increase aggressive behaviour.
I'm going to stop it right there. All of that was the exact opposite of what is actually true. First of all, it will trigger aggression, right? There are the people who get really competitive, but then they go outside, usually, and then they have a normal fucking life. They're just normal fucking people. They're not shooting anyone. there are people who shoot people, and some of them probably play video games. Also, there are many positive side effects of this that were found in many actual evidence-based pieces of research. You know what, whatever. I'm gonna keep going.
So we can either choose to dismiss this sort of research or take it on board as parents and say, this is what the scientific community is telling us.
No, it's not. It's not. They're telling you the opposite. And then the thing about her saying we can choose to dismiss this research when that's exactly what she did. These idiots. My God.
That this is really something that we need to be very mindful of, and we really need to guard our children's brains. We're not saying don't do it at all, but we're saying the research is very much telling us.
We need to guard our children's brains. What? Okay. I get what she's trying to say, but she's making such a big deal about fucking video games. It's not that big of a deal. Oh my God. When she says we need to guard our children's brains, it makes it sound like video games are some kind of infectious disease or something.
There's over 116 research reports telling us that it affects the structure and performance of the brain as well.
They say the opposite of that. They say the exact fucking opposite. If this was really that big of a deal, you wouldn't have those children right in front of you doing just that. But the thing is, it's not. So you're having them be there playing probably Fortnite just to get people to say, oh no, those kids are playing video games, oh God. This is just complete fucking... I can't with this. I'm not even halfway through
this is not bad. So Sam and Ari are playing it this morning. This is not bad for them, is it?
Look, it's not bad for them as long as it's monitored, you know, would be my advice. No one's saying for 1 second, don't play
Okay,
it.
so 40 million people are playing this game now,
More
at least.
than.
So
More
100 million, maybe 100 million, 200 million, whatever it is, and they're going to keep playing it.
Yep.
So no matter what age they are, there are going to be kids in this country and every country around the world who aren't supervised. So what damage is it going to do?
So what they talk about and what it actually affects is the pleasure centres of the brain in the front lobe of the brain.
The pleasure centers. Did they just try to make the claim that games are fun? Whoa. Holy shit. Oh my God, I never realized this. Oh my God. They really do cause school shootings. The pleasure center of the brain is what lets you know when things are fun. They literally just use that as an argument.
And so we really need to be mindful that this is actually impacting on our behaviour. It decreases empathy. What it's actually doing, as Charlie rightly said, its aim is to kill, hurt, maim. That's the goal.
But they're cartoon characters, they're caricatures, and we don't see blood, Sandy. So many parents are saying it's okay because we're not seeing the blood and guts.
That's a complete cop-out, and I would completely rebut that argument.
No, but kids aren't going to go there and kill people because they're playing this game.
No, it's a whole package. What we do know, though, is children who are exposed to it for a long period of time, unsupervised, as a cheap babysitting exercise.
Oh, and it just ends there. Okay, I kind of zoned out there, because she was just repeating the same shit that I already argued with. You know, there's no point in this. I'm just going to go back to my script. Can I tell you guys a little story? So, Fortnite is a very popular game right now, and for good reason. It's extremely fun. I enjoy myself playing it. So, I was playing it one day, and my mom came in, and she's like, oh, what are you playing? And I'm like, oh, it's just Fortnite. And she's like, and I can't remember how exactly the conversation went, but somehow it went from that to her telling me to promise her that I'm not going to shoot up any schools anytime soon. What? It just went 0 to fucking a gajillion in 0 fucking seconds. Every other time people have tried to say video games cause violence, there have been a million people debunking it. You know, people who actually know what they're talking about. I find it pretty retarded that people are still bringing this up, but then I remember, once your kids realize that staring at a screen for too long doesn't actually rot their brains because the light rays being sent into your eyes is the same light rays being reflected off everything that makes you see everything else, you need some other reason to keep Lil Jimmy from playing on his Nintendo X Station all day. So we bring back the "you're gonna kill someone" thing. But this time I think it shook up a little more people because, you know, all the school shootings. Back then, all those other times this argument has been made, school shootings weren't a common thing. Mass homicides committed by students to their peers were pretty fucking scarce. This is just... This next story comes from James Cadwell. A student was rapping in their rap persona and said, I don't know, something along the lines of, I'ma pull up on your block with my Glock and poom poom, you're dead, or something, and got fucking arrested for it. It's a fucking SoundCloud rapper, dude. Some kid had to be listening to their SoundCloud, and then the parent saw it, said, with a Glock? A fucking Glock? This anti-Christian shit? Out of my house. Did I just break this? I'm gonna stop just explaining this article and just read it to you. Amid a rising climate of fear and anxiety surrounding social media spawned school threats, a surprising detail has emerged about a recent police investigation into an alleged threat at James Cadwell High School. And it all started with a rap song. It sounds like they're telling a story in like a TV show, and like they say it all started with a rap song, and then like you see the flashback shit. Let me see if I can find the lyric actually. Here it is. The lyrics were, pull my gun, kill your fucking head. Now you're dead, go to sleep. The song is titled, You Little Sluts at JCHS, I love you all even though y'all hurt me, and I forgive you, I would never hurt you. No names were mentioned in the rap. He tweeted the day of his arrest, hi sluts, get your face fucked, on Twitter. They painted me as a school shooter, and that's terrifying, Schmidt told BuzzFeed Nudes, insisting that he's just a weird kid who loves hip-hop in an overwhelmingly white conservative in an overwhelmingly white conservative suburb and never planned any sort of attack or violence. My life is ruined here in this town. I don't think my life is ruined in general, I don't. But I feel like here in this town I'm done. This is what fucking happens. This is what happens when you take this shit and apply it to anywhere guns are even fucking mentioned. Or, as my next topic here is, even if you choose to bring that elsewhere.
I love hentai, I need hentai in my life. All day, I love hentai, I need hentai in my life.
This CNN Politics article is titled, Tennessee Lawmaker Says... Now, I don't know about you, but when I think causes of school shootings, Usually I think about stuff like mentally unsound people. But no, apparently this Tennessee lawmaker says one of the main causes of school shootings has nothing to do with violence. Oh no. It's fucking porn. You heard that right. Tennessee lawmaker says pornography is a root cause of school shootings. Black-sided violence movies and porn as factors contributing to the deterioration of family in this reporting. What is black-sided? Hold on. So basically what she's saying is, if you have ever busted a fat one, you're gonna kill everyone because of that. Now, I don't think she realizes that pretty much everyone in high school watches porn. I'm not saying that I do. I'm just saying that most kids watch porn. Does that include me? Now, there's no real arguments made to support this, but I can't even think of anything that would even remotely relate school shootings to fucking porn. What the fuck? How? What? The moral of today's video is don't kill people unless you have to. You know, there's times where you don't really have a choice, or it's justified, you know, then I can make an exception. But don't shoot up a school. Don't do that. That is bad. But you know what's even worse? Not a lot, but this is pretty bad also.